Since not everybody has used a tallit or a prayer shawl, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about why somebody might use one. First and foremost, obviously it's used as a prayer covering. And so this is something that you can wear as you are spending time in the quiet place and in prayer. It serves as a really great way to kind of switch gears. So from whatever you were doing in your day to coming into that quiet place. It's also really good for helping to minimize distractions. And I mean that both because it becomes a place that is a safe place that you know that you're going to be quiet, but also just physically having the fabric acts almost as blinders, so that if I put this on when I'm in church, it literally helps to minimize the distractions around me because I can't see the things that are back here as well. The other thing that it does that's very helpful is it's almost like wearing a do not disturb sign. So if you are having a quiet moment in the middle of a congregation, if you are during a ministry time at church and you just want to be quiet with the Lord, and it is a clear sign to those around you, this is an intimate moment that should not be disturbed. They act almost as a portable prayer tent. And in the same way that if you have a room in your house that you spend a lot of time in prayer in, that you'll find that there becomes almost like a residual anointing there, that when you walk into that space, that you can immediately enter into the presence of God in a really deep way. And in the same way, if you spend a lot of time in prayer wearing one of these prayer coverings, what you'll find is that it brings you back into that space much more quickly because it's helping you to just step into it. And there's that residual anointing of like, this is a holy and consecrated space. Part of what the tallits come with are tassels on the four corners. This is scriptural. It also says that they should have one blue thread running through them. We have our beaded tzitzits, which have the string of beads and a tassel at the base of them. For people who like bling and don't mind being a little bit more gentle, you can go with something like this. Just our plain tassel ones, which we also will put, a bead or several beads or a stone up at the base of it just for decorative purposes. And so these are a little bit more sturdy. If you have small children or you're heavy-handed, we strongly suggest getting the tassel one. The tzitzits represent the covenant that we have with the Lord. And so you can think of it almost in terms of like a wedding ring. In the same way, you don't slip and suddenly you have a wedding ring on, right? And so these are put on with intention. They represent the covenant that we have with the Lord. In the story of Ruth and Boaz, there's that scene where she goes and she puts herself under his cloak. And in the same way, when we get under our tallits, under our prayer shawls, our prayer coverings, it's sort of like us doing the same thing with the Lord. It's us tucking ourselves under his cloak and basically declaring we belong to him and that we're submitting to his authority. It's a beautiful symbol. The woman with the issue of blood who touched the hem of Jesus's garment. So you can almost just picture her reaching out and grabbing on to one of his tzitzits. And so in the same way, wearing your prayer covering is like entering a place of healing. You're just in a place of expectation for the restoration of God. Our tallits come in an organza bag so that you have an easy way to keep them safe, and it also makes them really portable. This is the one from my purse. Wrapping up in my tallit, sometimes it just feels like getting a hug from the Father. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I just pray that you have many wonderful hours of prayer and worship. Blessings to you.